Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of January 2, Thursday. I'm Riza Diaz. We start today's rush with the remains of one of the Filipinas who died in the road accident in Singapore, now back in the Philippines. The body of Arlene Nucos arrived in La Union just before the first day of 2020 came to an end. Now the family is now busy preparing for Arlene's wake. Ricky Fernandez tells us how the New Year holiday went for the Nucos family.
Like past medianoches, the Nucos family was busy preparing for New Year's Eve in their home in Cabala, Union. Nanay Alice was dicing the ingredients for spaghetti, while her older brother Tatay Rinaldo was mixing the macaroni salad. They invited a News 5 team to join them for the New Year dinner, but behind the smiles lie a somber mood. New Year's will never be the same after one of their family members working in Singapore died in a fatal accident. Arlene died after she was hit by a car while outside the Lucky Mall Plaza, a favorite haunt of Filipinos in SG. Arlene was with her eldest sibling, Arceli, who is still in the hospital for serious injuries.
Iwan ko kung may napindot ako sa cellphone, pero yung misis ko ang tinatawagan ko. May sumagot na, kilala mo ba si Arlene? Kaano-ano ba? Kapatid mo ba siya? Alam mo ba na nangyari? Sabi sa akin. Di nag-isip ako, pinatay ko yung cellphone ko.
Before the tragedy, Tatay Rinaldo said Arceli promised to finance the restoration of his tricycle. The tricycle and a jeepney were the first investments of his sisters after 30 years in Singapore.
Pipilitin pa rin natin maging masaya, kahit gano'n ang nangyari sa kapatid ko. Bakit na gano'n ang nangyari sa kanila, sila ay matulungin, sila pang, yun. Ewan ko kung bakit. May dahilan siguro ng Panginoon.
Tables and chairs are already laid out for the wake of Arlene. Meanwhile, Jeff Leste took to social media to express his pain over the loss of his mother Abigail, who died in the same accident. His only wish, to have her back safe and sound, even if it meant a difficult life for them. The Department of Foreign Affairs assured assistance to the victims and their families. Singapore Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan also visited the victims recuperating in the hospital. The driver of the car has been temporarily freed on bail. The government says it will make sure that justice is served. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
Households are now sympathizing with motorists as the new year brings in higher prices of LPG, courtesy of the third tranche of excise tax hikes. Before this, pump prices have already gone up due to the increase in fuel excise tax. Shaila Francisco has the report.
It's going to be a tight start for Maxima Sari Sari store in Quezon City as the new year brought with it price hikes in LPG. Prices of LPG went up by more than 6 pesos per kilogram, while auto LPG prices increased by more than 4 pesos. Maxima's household usually reserves 2 LPG tanks, especially since they sell breakfast in their Sari Sari store.
Sa akin naman, kung sa masakit sa bulsa. Hindi naman natin masabi na lagi tayong may pera.
Even motorists felt the price increase in other fuel products.
Ubus ang pera, imbis na pambili pa ng mga pagkain, wala, mapupunta sa gas. Kasi malayo inuwihan ko pa Montalban eh. Tapos papasok ako ng Quezon City.
The Energy Department attributed the adjustment to the fuel prices in the world market. But consumers will have to brace for another round of price increases on petroleum products as a third tranche of the excise tax hikes begin this year. Under the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Act or TRAIN law, the oil excise rate increase will be staggered between 2018 and 2020 to fund government programs.
Babawasan yung income tax na babayaran na karamihan from the middle class. Pero babawiin ito doon sa mga hindi energy efficient na mga gumagamit ng energy products tulad ng mga gumagamit ng malalaking kotse kahit mag-isa.
The DOE says the government cannot suspend the hike as global prices have not reached $80 per barrel as stated in the law. So there will be a peso increase per liter in kerosene, LPG and gasoline, and more than 1 peso per liter in diesel. The new rates will be applied to fresh supply and is expected to take effect this week.
Merong ilang mga gasoline stations na nag-i-implement ito mabilis. Ibig sabihin, mga first week pa lang ng January nag-i-implement na. Dahil Ang usual explanation nila ay mabilis ang stock turnover at saka konti yung storage facilities nila. Ito yung mga major thoroughfares. No? Yung behavior ng Pilipino, January 1, first week, kadalasan dyan ay gumagamit ng SLEX or NLEX. Yun yung mga mabilis maubos. Or yung mga nandito sa mga EDSA, sa C5. So yun yung mabilis magkaroon ng turnover.
The DOE urges firms to advise consumers before implementing the new tax rates. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. The PNP welcomes reports of zero casualty and lower cases of injuries as the country welcomes the start of the new year. Filipino Star ngayon reports that 324 people were reported injured since December 16, 2019 due to either firecracker use, stray bullets, or illegally discharged firearms. This is lower compared to the nearly 800 cases recorded in 2018. Malacanang clarifies Filipino Americans will not be affected by President Duterte's planned visa requirement for U.S. citizens. Presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo also defended the president's plan, saying it is within the rights of the Philippines as a country to require visa before allowing entry of foreigners. Pangmasa reports that this came after some American legislators called for the release of detained Senator Laila de Lima. Now, as we Filipinos would say it, tao lang, His Holiness Pope Francis has issued an apology after a video of him slapping a woman's hand in St. Peter's Square made buzz online. The viral video shows the Pope greeting pilgrims in St. Peter's Square when one of the attendees grabbed his arm. The abrupt gesture seemed to have caused the 83-year-old pontiff pain as he wrenched his hand free. Still, Pope Francis said sorry for the move, which some netizens claim is unbecoming of a religious leader.
L'amore ci fa paziente e tante volte perdiamo la pazienza, anche io, e chiedo scusa per il cattivo esempio di ieri.
Now, with the new year finally in, it's time to check out the latest fashion trends this 2020. Here's the story.
As we welcome the new year and the new decade, it's time to say goodbye to the fashion trends that were so last year. To make sure your wardrobe is up to date, here are some fashion tips we should keep in mind. The 2020 color of the year is classic blue, a deep blue shade that reminds us of the sky moments after the day turns into the light. It symbolizes the start of the new decade, which is full of hope, just like the calming knowledge that when the sun sets, we know that a new day is just hours away. That's why this salon was jam-packed with customers who want to keep up with this year's trend. Blue shades of nail polish are quickly becoming a crowd favorite. But when it comes to hairstyle for us ladies, long hair is out, short hair is in.
Pag malaki ang mukha, dapat mas short para natatakpan yung laki ng face ng tao. Yes.
May patapya si May.
Bangs.
For Jaja, changing her hairstyle and hair color is not just for fashion's sake.
Para swertehin daw tayo. Matanggal lahat ng stress natin year 2019.
And when it comes to appeal, here's what we have to know. Stop wearing your fitted clothes and muscle shirts because flowing and loose clothes are in.
Teenagers nowadays wear loose ones, even drop shoulder t-shirts to pair up with yung high waist. Light and airy fabrics do not complement if it's the fitted pattern does not complement the light and airy materials. We have rayons for our summer because it's light and airy. Anything goes for rayons like vertical stripes, especially florals, and checkered. We also have checkered. But we concentrate more on the material for summer because we need to be, the breezy feel for summer feels.
And for girls, florals, different patterns, and puffed sleeves are a must.
We have dress, peasant dress, floral dress like that. But for the bottoms, kasi we still have the high waist to pair up with the crop tops, ganun. So we have those. We have those in skirts, in shorts, and in denim pants.
And for the titos and titas of the 90s, please take note.
Nobody wears the low-waist jeans anymore.
K-pop boy band BTS makes another show-stopping performance in the United States, and this time they ushered in 2020 in Times Square in New York, along with the rest of America's brightest stars. These included Post Malone, Alanis Morissette, complete with a simulcast of the Jonas Brothers in Miami. Now, the performances were part of ABC's annual Dick Clark's New Year Rockin' Eve, hosted by Ryan Seacrest and Lucy Hale. Now, the 7-member group performed their hit songs Make It Right and Boy With Love in the last few moments of 2019 as their loyal fan base, the Army, cheered on them. Now, here are the stories to watch out for later today. New ride-hailing service Joyride will be facing the media together with the LTFRB and controversies surrounding the regulation of motorcycle taxis. President Duterte will be visiting earthquake victims in the towns of Malalag and Padada in Davao del Sur. And today is the last day that the number coding scheme is lifted for the holidays. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.